Hello everyone, myself Dr. Kadambri Agrawal, Associate Professor in Department of Computer Science and Engineering, ABES Engineering College. In previous recording or lecture, we have discussed about the renewable energy resources. Renewable energy resources are also called NCR, non-conventional energy resources. And this is one of the curriculum part of AKTU. We have also compared the renewable energy with the non-renewable energy. As you know very well, the renewable energy are the energies which can never be finished off. They are abundantly available on the earth, and we are converting this energy to the electrical energy. In the previous lecture, we have discussed only two types of renewable energy, that is wind energy and solar energy. And we have also discussed how we are using the windmill to convert the wind energy into the electrical energy, and how we are using the solar panels to convert the solar energy into the electrical energy. So in continuation with that, we will be discussing the more NCR, that is a non-conventional energy resources. And the third renewable energy resources, or NCR is a tidal energy. So the tidal energy is the energy of the tides, which is present on the seas. And we can also convert these tides into the electrical energy. So tidal power exploits the movement of water caused by tidal currents or the rise and fall in sea level due to the tides. Although it is not widely used, but the future is very bright. It is very costly also. But in future, we can use it because it is more predictable than wind energy and solar energy. The technology required to harness tidal energy is well established. However, it remains expensive, and there are relatively very few applications, that is around 40 applications worldwide. And ocean tides are produced by gravitational forces of sun and moon. In India, the Gulf of Bombay, the Gulf of Kutch, Sundarban are the tidal power site from where we can convert the tidal energy into the electrical energy. These are the snapshots. We can see the tides are present, and we are converting these tides into the electrical energy. As far as the advantages and disadvantages of tidal energies are concerned, advantages, very less area is required because they are on the base of sea, and it is free from pollution because it does not use any fuel. Third one is it is much superior to hydropower water power plant, as it is totally dependent on rain, which always fluctuates from year to year. As far as the demerits are concerned, the tidal power plants can be developed only if natural sites are available. It is very costly also, as the sites are available on the bay, which will be always far away from the load center. The power generated involve more transmission costs. The costly, tidal energy is very costly. The supply of power depends upon the timing of tides, hence not continuous. To solve this problem, although the basin with the pump storage can be made, but also it is very costly. So India, we are not using it widely, but in future we can use it. The next type of renewable energy is MHD energy. The MHD generation, or also known as the magneto-hydrodynamic power generation. And it is a energy conversion system that converts the heat energy directly into the electrical energy. There is no mechanical device or mechanical energy conversion required in between. Uh, so it is very efficient. We can see here the snapshot of it. As far as the advantages and disadvantages of MHD energy are concerned, the advantages are, we have already discussed, there is no mechanical device in between. So this is one of the advantage, and it is more reliable. In MHD system, the efficiency is about 50% as compared to 40% for most efficient steam plant. As soon as it is started, it can reach the full power level. But there are certain disadvantages also. That is, it may contain the short circuit problem. It may suffer from the reverse flow, that is a short circuit of electron through the conducting fluids around the end of magnetic field. And there is also high friction losses. Around 12% losses are there due to friction. The next type of renewable energy is through fuel cell. A fuel cell is basically an electrochemical cell that converts the electrical energy of fuel, that is hydrogen, and oxidizing agent, that is oxygen, into electricity through a redox reaction. Fuel cells are different from most batteries in requiring a continuous source of fuel and oxygen. to sustain the chemical reaction. Whereas in battery, the chemical energy usually comes from metal and their ions are oxidized that are commonly already present in battery, except in flow batteries. So this is a snapshot of fuel cell. We can see the hydrogen is coming, oxygen is coming, redox reaction is taking place, water is coming out, heat is coming out, and that means energy is coming out. As far as the advantages and disadvantages of fuel cell are concerned, the advantages is it has very high efficiency, around 70%, since it is a direct conversion process and does not involve a thermal process. Fuel cell have less mechanical components, hence maintenance is also very easy. Fuel cell takes little time to start the operation. Demerits are it has a low service life. Initially, the cost is very high. The use of fuel cell is still unsafe due to explosive nature of hydrogen and oxygen. The next type of renewable energy is energy from biomass. So biomass is basically the wastage of animal and animal dung, wastage of agriculture, wastage of plants, and wastage of wood products. And we are converting this thing into the biomass. And through biomass power plant, we are getting the energy which is used as a electrical energy. We can see here in this diagram, lot of carbon dioxide emission is there in case of biomass energy, but it is abundantly available. So biomass is basically organic material made from plants and animal. It is a renewable energy source because we can always grow more trees and crops and waste will always exist. It does not include fossil fuels which take millions of years to create. When burned, the chemical energy in biomass is released as heat. It is clear from the previous diagram. The wood waste or garbage can be burned to produce steam for making electricity or to provide heat to industries and homes. So biomass plants are there which are doing this particular working. The biomass plant is a device for conversion of fermentable organic matter, in particular cattle dung, into combusting gas and fully matured organic manure. The main source for production of biogas are cattle dung, night soil, poultry, piggery, droppings. These materials are confined in a place out of contact with oxygen, and it gives rise to large number of bacteria which are converted into carbohydrate proteins, into volatile acids and carbon dioxide. When biomass is organic matter derived from the plants, algae, animal, etc. And advantages and disadvantages of biomass. Advantages, it has very high cost of obtaining bioenergy through plantation is lesser than cost of obtaining energy from the fossil fuel. Plant ensure a continuous supply of energy due to their continuous growth. Combustion of biomasses does not causes sulfur pollution. So because in vegetable even less than 0.1% sulfur is there. Demerits are accumulation of water in pipeline and need to remove it at periodic intervals. Inefficient designing of gas appliances can be a problem. Seasonal variation in gas production due to lack of temperature control and poor installation of plants is also a problem. The next type of renewable energy or non-conventional energy is OTEC energy. This is basically a ocean thermal energy conversion. It is a process or technology for producing an energy by harnessing the temperature differences between ocean surface and deep ocean water. So energy from the sun heats the surface water of the ocean. In tropical region, basically the surface water can be much warmer than deep water. This temperature difference can be used to produce electricity. And this is a snapshot of OTEC. We can see the levels are varying. Warm surface water is pumped through an evaporator containing a working fluid. The vaporized fluid drives the turbine and generator. The vaporized fluid is turned back to a liquid in condenser cooled with cold ocean water, and it is pumped from deeper into the ocean. OTC system are using sea water as working fluid. Can we use the condensed water to produce desalinated water? As far as the advantages, disadvantages are concerned, OTC has very high cost of obtaining bioenergy through plantation is less than obtaining energy from the fossil fuel. The OTC process exploits the temperature difference between the warm surface and cold bottom water to produce electricity. And disadvantages of OTC: at greater distance, the transmission cost of electricity is increased. OTC plant has several limitations and techno-economical constraints, hence their commercial prospects are quite uncertain. Third one is the plant is subjected to ocean streams and high waves. It is subjected to very high stresses are there. Then the next type of non-conventional energy is a geothermal energy. Geo means the earth and the thermal means heat. That means the heat of the earth energy, that is heat from the earth, is converted to the electrical energy. There is hot water reservoir under the earth, and that heat is converted to the electrical energy. So geothermal energy is derived from high temperature, that is geothermal fluids. This can be utilized for power generation and thermal applications like greenhouse cultivation, hot water irrigation in cold countries, and cooking, process heat, electrical power generation. There are two kinds of geothermal deposits. One is a hydrogeothermal energy deposit, that is a hot water type, and second is a petrogeothermal, that is a hot dry rock type. Both can be converted to the electrical energy. And this is a snapshot of geothermal power plant. We can see the beneath hot water reservoirs, and these are converted to the steam. Turbine is there, the generator is there, and then it is converted to the electrical energy. Geothermal energy is basically a energy source that can be harnessed for power generation and thermal application in near future. India has about 150 known geothermal sites having geothermal fluids of moderate and low temperature. The worth mentioning hydrothermal resources locations are Fuga hydrothermal plants in Ladakh, 5 kV plant at Manikaran near Kullu in Himachal Pradesh, Tatapani, Sangajita area of MP. Except this, the hot springs are founded in northwest Himalaya region, MP, Gujarat, and Damodar Valley. As far as the advantages and disadvantages are concerned, the advantages of geothermal energy are it offers an inexhaustible and versatile source of energy. It is naturally available. It is very less expensive. It causes negligible pollution. So there are many advantages. And the disadvantages are surfaces subsidence, sometimes the result due to withdrawal of large amount of steam or water from geothermal sources. Air pollution result in case of release of gases like H2S, ammonia, CO2 present in the steam and hot water coming out of the sources. So we have discussed all types of renewable energy, and that is also called non-conventional energy resources as per the curriculum. And the next slides, we will be discussing how the solar cells are working, what are the working of PV cells and arrays. The references of this particular lecture is taken from the NPTEL. And thank you so much for the listening. If you like the lecture, kindly like and subscribe.